Hi guys, how's it going? Back yet again. This time I'm recording in the summer. A lot of the videos that I've been uploading lately haven't been recorded in the summer, but this one is, so I hope you're all having a good summer here. And today I got a real ambitious project. By the end of this video I should have a combination of all of these parts that I've gathered here, and a combination of these two controllers, and it'll look pretty good. So let me explain what's going on here. I picked this controller up on eBay about 2 years ago for about 20 bucks. It was very, very cheap, and I thought, oh, that's a good price. I could repair this maybe, but it served to be something that could be more of a tougher task than I anticipated. As if we take a look at it here, it just kind of looked worn to me, like this could be easily fixed. But the more close that I got and examined it, the tougher I realized it would be. So shoulder buttons work just fine. C button is pretty much your average GameCube controller. Z button, the start button works just fine. D-pad is good. C stick's just fine, but the buttons and the joystick are where this goes a little haywire. By the way, this controller works, but the first thing that you can notice is that the joystick here is not in the greatest condition. It is very torn up. It's got a little ripple along here. That's probably from excessive use, and most apparent, the joystick does not make your average sound like that when you spin it around. In fact, it's been rounded around all the edges here on this controller. So C-stick's just fine, but the joystick is not. This can happen from turning too much, but yeah, that's kind of my assumption of what's happened. So now the buttons. The buttons here, it appeared fine at first, but then when I examined them closer, they're very, very unresponsive in their nature here. So as you can see, this controller needs a lot of repairing. So this is where all of these parts come in. First, I have this controller. I got this in a bundle when I was back purchasing my Nintendo Gamecube a very long while ago, a little bit more than a year ago. So the reason this controller was like $5, and it really isn't that good. The joystick can be a little wonky at sometimes. This just makes awful sounds, terrible springs, extremely clicky Z button. Really, the buttons are actually not that bad. The D-pad is honestly better than most Nintendo GameCube D-pads. C-stick is kind of fine, but that's about it on that. So this was my first ever time that I hydro dipped, which is a method of painting plastic and other things. So the way that this was painted, I suggest you go and look up a tutorial on this, as it's very satisfying to watch. But you spray oil spray paints into a bucket of hot water, like a Home Depot bucket size bucket, you know, of hot water, and whatever color that is, you dunk the controller into it. Of course, I didn't have any of the buttons on or anything, just the shell and no sticker here. I dunked it in, and then when that happens, the paint that's in the water will wrap around the controller, and then when you pull it back out, it's made this kind of cool looking pattern like this. So It was my first one. It's very apparent. There's a few tears around the edges and stuff, but I don't think I did too bad, and it's going to fit the style that I'm going for here. So I'm going to take the shell off of this and basically just keep some parts for scrap and then throw away the rest, because this controller is not really that good. So yeah, that's my first spare. Then, second, we have to fix the problem of joysticks. So I thought, since I'm going out and replacing the joystick, maybe I should make this controller look a little different. Maybe make it a little more pizzazz, give it some unique personality. So that's kind of where some of these things come in. These are aluminum Xbox One joysticks. Now you're thinking, why, Silver, did you buy aluminum Xbox One joysticks for a Nintendo GameCube controller? Well, I read online, a lot of the stuff I read online, I'm winging this entire thing, by the way. I read online that Xbox One aluminum joysticks, or just normal Xbox One joysticks, can fit on Nintendo GameCube controllers. They have the correct slotting down at the bottom. So hopefully these will function in the way that I intend them to, and not in a way that I don't intend them to. They should be pretty good. And I got new buttons. I know I was a sucker for doing this. I didn't need to do this, but I felt like when buying these joysticks, the button scheme wouldn't really fit. So I bought these. It was an entire set. It was pretty cheap, so I got the whole thing. I'm not going to be using the C-stick or the directional, the thumbstick here, because they are made of plastic and honestly kind of crappy. Bad design. But all the buttons I will be using, the triggers and Z button I'll also be using. So there you go. I think that's going to work pretty well. And last but not least, I have these button pads, and they will be very, very useful, as I need to replace the button pads, because they're getting a little soft around the edges. So these are fresh new button pads, reproductions. They're going to serve me pretty well, I think. So let's get to disassembly. Now, we're going to be starting with the reproduction controller, as it's got the simplest screws, but it's also going to be the hardest one to take apart, because these screws are heavily worn. It's likely that this will be the last time that I'm ever able to disassemble this, if I can, which I hope I can, because this is a pretty nice case. So this is an all-out kind of thing. I'm really, really praying that this works. I read online that the reproduction controllers, the cases for them tend to fit with the real controllers because of how similar they are. They're mock-ups, you know, they're mocked designs, so it should work. Let's get disassembly here. I'd also like to mention, Lefty Lucy, okay. Thank you, Mom, for providing me this table. Because I needed this table. It's got nice lighting and stuff. So, hold on, I'm going to go ahead and unscrew these, and I'll be back. Just realized that this bit does not fit this controller, so I'm going to be back. Oops. Okay, well, I lied to you guys. I ended up just doing the this original controller first. But that's alright. I'm sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one now. Alright. And now we've finished. So, well, I believe it's time to open something. A little present. Here we go. And there you go. It just lifts off like that. It's beautiful. And, oh boy, we have miniature screws. This is gonna be a nightmare, I swear. And I need another bucket. Oh boy. Alright, give me just a moment. And back I am. Okay, so this doesn't just lift off, by the way, in case, oh. No, wait. I'm stupid. It does. We didn't need this. Okay. Alright, let's lift the entire thing off. Okay, we have this really nice C button. Oh, God, I just realized that I'm going to need to manage to put that in. Oh, boy. That's wobbling around. Let's see if we can just hoist this off. Or if we're going to break something in the process. Nope. No breaking intended. And no breaking has occurred. That looks like the flimsiest PCB I have ever seen. Dear God. Okay, so this is what we've got on the inside. I like that zip tie idea. I don't think that the other one had that. I like that nice attention to quality control that Nintendo has there. Alright, I need to figure out a way. You know what? I think I'm just going to set this to the side for a moment. I am not sure where, though. How about just here? I hope I don't forget it's there. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's a little gamble. But we all take gambles at some point in life, so. Alright. Ah, nice. Let's open the second controller. It's like unwrapping presents on Christmas Day. Gosh, this has been like molded together from the paint. The last thing I want to happen right now is for this to break apart and splatter everywhere. Of course, it's gonna do that anyway, I'm sure. This part right here is giving me trouble. There you go. It splattered everywhere. Just like I said, I didn't want to happen. The joystick has come clean off of the PCB. I am astounded. Gosh. Wow, that's a very interesting little switch you got there, though. Good job with that. Okay, let's clean this. Okay, so before I clean up here, one thing that I should mention, I have to go ahead and actually clean this out. It's kind of lodged up. If you look here, hold on, let me put the B button in. This is a very, very, well, it was, but this is a very, very tight space. There's not much wiggle room for anything compared to places like the A button. And if you take a look here, there's really not, whoa, I lost part of the controller, hold on. Yeah, but this was having trouble. This was like wobbly. I want to see, I might need to shave these down a little bit, because I don't know how big these buttons will get, but, we're gonna have to see. Let's just see what happens, alright? I really hope that this works, and I'm realizing now that, these are really similar. I probably could have just used these pads. Whatever. They might do me better. I don't know. Hold on. We'll see. Adventure awaits. Let's just move all this apart. Terrible spring mechanism, to be completely honest. That is horrible. I really hope that correctly fits in. I don't know if it will. I really, really hope that it does. It's looking like it might. It's possible. This is a moment in time when I pray to our gods, if we have any. Even though I am part of a largely atheist family. Let's do this. So today I learned that the inside of white GameCube controllers have white circuit button things, which is something that I did not know. So, you know, that's pretty cool. To be honest, I like that. I think that's pretty epic. So here we go. Right after this, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison once I pop this joystick off. Very carefully, I've made it off successfully. And we pull the other side off here. There we go. And also, whoa. Oh God, springs and stuff everywhere. We also pull this joystick off. Really trying to not break anything, even though these PCBs are so flimsy. Oh, so flimsy. Oh God, that's like stuck on there. Well, anyway, these are the two PCBs with a side-by-side comparison. They look very, very different. I mean, difference being here, one of these was built in 2018 and one of them was built in 2001. Gonna be honest though, man, do these really hold up well? That joystick, you can feel it. Like, that's good. This one feels rickety. It don't quite get that. Same with this, I bet. It's tougher to feel there. But what you may notice, which is very interesting, there's a turbo and slow button on the 2018 controller. That is extremely bizarre, if I say so myself, because you can tell here these don't have that. Now, likely these PCBs are wide use. They're like the Mad Catz type controllers. I bet that a lot of companies use this style of PCB. I bet they're in mass production. So I'm not actually very surprised by that. Now, let's try to fit these joysticks on. This is a moment of truth for sure. I'm really hoping that this isn't going to cover anything up, because I forgot to check for that. That just fits on nice and... It's beautiful. It's slightly wiggly, but it's beautiful. My God. It's glorious. It's beautiful. Now, I'm really hoping that these don't just pop up whichever way they go. There's a little bit of wiggle room here that I'm not too big of a fan of, but because it's our first time, I really don't think that it's going to matter. Gosh, these are really... I don't understand why these are so low. I have a feeling that something's going to go very wrong, and that these are designed that way specifically, that these buttons being way higher than these is a problem, and I really pray that that's not the case. Now, we got a really good C-stick out of this. this could be sold online for a good sum of money. Now, it's an OG C-stick. It's very tough to tell the difference. Though, oh, never mind. You can often tell because on C-sticks like these, the definite like OG thing here, good way to tell. The seam on C-stick goes up like this. It's tough to see on camera, but the seam is very light and it goes up like this. On this C-stick, which is not original, it goes across. It's a good lesson when you're trying to buy original parts. That's a good thing to look out for. That's how I try to tell. So let's get to the next part. Now for this little next part, never mind. I can't use these just yet. Yeah, I can't do that just yet. How about we wait on that just for a little bit, and I'll return to that in really soon time. Yeah, one moment. Now this isn't fully assembled quite yet, and it's kind of popping out a little bit, but this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna say it out right there. Let's see if we can fit this on. Maybe. Seems like it might. It's a little tight on there, but that's gonna be great. I can't wait. Next, more disassembly, because I'm dumb. Forgot to disassemble this part. Whoa, I don't want to strip that. Hold on. How the hell did I grab that? Oh my god. Okay, I grabbed a tri-wing because I'm really dumb. Okay, that felt like it hadn't been unscrewed in 18 years. Which is true. It hasn't been, so let's do this. Probably a little less than that, but you know, still a pretty crazy amount of time. Let's see, maybe I can... There we go. Maybe I can just leave those in. Keep the entire thing in one piece. And pray to dear God that the button pads are replaceable and that I did not screw up. So, gonna be honest, I really don't honestly think anymore that these button pads need to be replaced. I think I might be able to just get away with leaving them in there. So, wait. No, it appears that that has not come completely undone. Okay, am I done? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. And there we go. Those will just stay in there like that. And there's our little mechanism in there. I think I just want to showcase that. It's a very unique design. You don't see that very many places. Now if we can get this all out in one piece, that'd be nice. And we did. That's good. Now I need to figure out how to get this bar off. Which I'm going to end up breaking this thing somehow. And that'll be fun. Golly gee. Is there a way to get this off? How the hell did they get this on in the first place? One moment. I'm not gonna lie. I had some serious doubts. But by God, I did it. I even replaced the pads. And I just want to take a moment to discuss how utterly disgusting the interior of this controller is. What the hell is that? I could use some really vulgar language right now, but that is demonetizationing disgusting. I'm horrified, okay? I guess, 18 years of grime in the making, but, holy crap. That is just gross. I'm gonna be outright honest. Now I'm going to attempt to do the impossible, which is load these into the controller. And holy crap, this is extremely tight. There's no way that that's gonna fit. Hold on. That seems extremely big. This was the left button the whole time. Oops. Well, I could have messed that up real bad. Oh my god. Man, I need like parental supervision when doing these things. I am just this stupid, okay? Hold on. Okay, this is very, very tight. I'm realizing that I'm not really getting a good frame ever of these. Hold on. Now, struggle is getting these to fit in correctly. I'm already struggling, period, with this mechanism. It doesn't seem... Yeah, there is something off. Very off. I'm not sure what's going on there. You have no idea the absolute hell that I just went through assembling this thing. It was terrible. So, let's start with the assembling of those mechanisms. I had them on backwards. Somehow I managed to mix them up. I didn't even notice this. How did I not notice it? And I spent like 30 minutes trying to make that work, and then it didn't, and then I figured out that I'm stupid. So here I am, did that, and then these screws took like years, because I guess whatever screw kind of area in this weren't being used, this is a, probably just a stock shell, again, they put all these parts together, not everything gets used. Very Chinese cheap, but yeah, they were probably clogged a little bit with paint, but I managed to do it, and I'm very glad about that. Let's go ahead and well, continue assembling here. Moment of truth. Oh god. Face this towards me. Hold on, I have terrible cord placement. I was trying to keep it on my legs so that it doesn't get caught in my wheelie chair. Hold on, maybe if I pull this up a tad. Pushing it in. Hold on a second. And we've run into our first major problem. The rumble does not fit inside of this. Now, that's because in here, the bar that's holding it up is much lighter than this, which is much lower. You see, that's a big problem once you notice it, because these two motors are different sizes. Now, we have to tackle exactly how we're going to shave this down so that it fits in correctly. And I'm not gonna lie, I may acquire some assistance. And we're back from that, from an emotional experience. We've completely removed this section, and I can finally say that the board fits nice and snug. We dremeled the inside of the support out, and cut a few parts off with some scissors, and used some pliers on it, and all in all, we got rid of it. We did lose a little support there, but that's not going to be a problem, because we've got two of them. And this is just we're gonna carry on here. It's gonna be fine and dandy here. Just gotta start assembling. Yes, it's time for assembly. Board in place. Joysticks on. Z button in. Well, I was gonna say buttons in, but I just remembered how really hard it is to make these buttons go on. Oh boy, I think we're gonna need to do the old classic of turning the entire controller upside down and then trying to squeeze it together like a messy sandwich. Oh boy, this one's gonna be complicated again. And D-pad in. Though something seems a little off about it, we need to go back and check footage from previously, because that just kind of looks a little wonky. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, apparently it's not actually wrong. I'm doing this correctly. That's good to hear. Alright, oh, crud. Okay, so, I just remembered that I need to, shave this out, because it's still too tight, I think. I'm gonna go and do that. Alright, yeah. One moment. And here we go. Ain't it relaxing? Just whatever this is, you know. You can just spin it around like this, you know, whatever. Fixing things is relaxing, you know. It's easy. Not always. But things like this are the parts that I enjoy. And to be quite honest, I think we might have done something good there. Alright. I might need some more. I'll return though, as soon as that happens. Alright, it's that time. It's time to assemble. I have sufficiently cleared that out. Literally, this was like uncut. It's perfect. So let's fit the rest of the buttons in. Oh! Dropped one. Oh no. It's not that bad. Okay. Freaked you off for a second. You know what? Quite on. What? Sorry, my dad's probably on the phone. Okay, so here's what we can do. we can... Okay, this is a little less relaxing, but that's okay. Not every part of the experience is going to be relaxing. When you take things apart like this, it tends to get a little messy, you know? And that's tough. It's tough on you. And there we go. Beautiful. Now, I can just spin this around in there and hopefully clear out something. Use it like a toothbrush, you know. Whatever. Do what you want. It's gonna clear out eventually. Just do what fits you most, you know? That's the way that I look at it. Same for this one. Same for everyone.
Yeah, well, hell, I mean, if it really is leather, that's awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Now the middle.
Okay.
This tends to get good stuck in there, you know? That is what I call clearing out. And wow, is that feeling better. I can say so myself because I am in here. That feels terrible. We need to fix this one up. I think I see the problem. We'll be back. And after all that, the A button finally works. Okay, I'm back. So I'm using a little bit of a method here to put the rest of the buttons in, which I've popped them in now. I don't know if anyone's done this before, but I'm putting tape on top of the buttons. Here we go.
You trying to just reduce stress on your wrist?
Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can just get this light on. What the heck?
I didn't really like it actually, but I went through a whole bunch of different bars at a couple motorcycle shops trying to figure out what I liked on the good side. And I'm sure it's different. I think it would be different for everybody.
Well, I seem to be having some problems. You want to do a jump cut? You know what? We're gonna do that. Ready?
Very smooth.
There we go. It's beautiful. It hasn't been screwed together yet. That's okay. But it does feel a little wonky. Some things I don't really like. D-pad. I mean, it's always been terrible, so whatever. Y button. No, never mind. It feels good now. It felt weird, but the triggers never got to their point. I thought that they would, like, get to a point where they would start to work better, but no. And that's fine. Okay. The C-stick feels really weird. It's like it's supposed to be... It's like it's supposed to be round, but then it's not. And I can't really feel the kind of... Like, when I rotate it around like this, that makes sense. It feels correct. Kinda. When I rotate around this edge. But then this edge doesn't feel correct. And I think that's because the C-stick touches the edge, which feels a little wonky. But that's going to be alright. Well, we got to test it out. Here we are in my bedroom with the controller. I haven't actually screwed it together yet. But, oh man, it's looking sexy. not really. But, we're gonna just start up the GameCube. And there it is. It's pretty cool kind of looking, but, yeah, I don't have a screen for this. Anyway, Melee, good game to test. And we already know that the start button's working. Somewhat, yes. Joystick. Oh, man. C. Stick works. One player. Okay. I need to know if Y and X work somehow. I can't. Okay. Seems that the D-pad works. Beautiful. Here's mode. Let's just do melee. Wow. Man, is it nice and precise. Look at that. I love that. There ain't nobody who's ever gonna give me a fuss about this controller. Does have a little wiggle room, that's alright though. Definitely could do pretty well with this. I bet somebody could do well in a competition with this controller. This abomination. That's okay though, it's my abomination. It's my first abomination of possibly many. Who knows? Alright, so that works pretty well. Okay, let's just go with like Kirby and beautiful. Rumble works just nice. Take a listen to that. Oh, there's no rumble there. Okay, whatever. And shield works there. Hold on. Uh-oh. I don't think that trigger is working. Oh boy. Grab works. Dope. Alright, well, we gotta fix that. Alright. Let's fix this. Hoo boy. Maybe if we just take it out like that and pop it back in. Maybe like it could be like a good old off and on again kind of trick. Whoa. I'm not sure why that one's working and that one isn't. I gotta look at that physically. And why is it pulling it out like this? What the heck? Buttons everywhere. Oh god. What pulled that out like that, dude? Ah, oh, it's so stupid. Now what am I gonna do? Okay, so this is really intense music for fixing a controller. God, I have no clue. Let's just seat it back in. Is there any visual difference? I don't see anything. No physical difference either. I think. Maybe it needs just like a wipe? Oh. That wasn't fully snapped in. Let's put this back together. Okay, because this isn't working, and there's like a little piece that keeps falling out. So because I'm going absolutely mental over this, I'm gonna tape it in, and it might work, but I'm not sure. There goes another joystick. This is having a little bit of a falling out here. And that seems to be keeping it from falling back out, which is good to see. Now let's seat that back in. Hopefully it stays flush. And hold on. Okay, cord was in a bad placement. There we go. And it seems to stay flush, both pins sticking out. We're all set. Let's reassemble it again. I just figured it out. This wasn't down. It wasn't connecting with this. That was stopping it from moving, meaning that no contact was being made. I'm a genius. Now, hopefully, when I relodge this for the final time, it should function as intended. Staying back there. That was some serious problem solving there. Holy crap. Oh, my cord's getting caught again. Yes! Woo! Let's do it. And there we go. The finished controller in all its glory. It's beautiful, really. I love it. The triggers have been fixed. Clicky now. They work too. The C stick and D-pad I'm not that big of a fan of, but the buttons are nice. Y button's a little funky. That's okay though. It'll get better. And joystick. These analog, the metal aluminum thumbsticks, very nice. I love the choice of those. This, I didn't think it would happen. I dremeled so much, I can dremel no more. It's like 10:30 right now. God, I worked on this all day. This is probably going to be my longest video ever, but if you really watched this far, then thank you, because this was a real piece of work, and I can't wait to use this. Bye-bye.